Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is Center Stage Nonprofits of Tucson, where we talk to nonprofits about some amazing things that are going on here in Tucson. So I am not Danielle Johnson. I am Sandra Johnson, and I'm just a guest host today because Danielle's home taking care of her sick kiddos. So we're filling in, and so it's our first times. We're rookies right now on Center Stage. But on our show today, we have Mimi. How do I say your last name?
Aguela.
Aguela. I'm the executive director for We Care Tucson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are certainly welcome. So I'm excited to hear a little bit about We Care Tucson and what it is that you do.
So We Care Tucson, our mission is to remove the barriers to information, education, and wellness. And we do this by taking in used technology. We restore what we can, and we sell it in a showroom at very, very affordable prices to anybody that would like to come in and shop. We also have a low-cost referral program for those that are socioeconomically challenged and can't afford even the computers we sell in the main store. Mm-hmm. And then we can't use, we recycle. So we keep it out of our local landfill. The second prong of our mission is we take in used medical supplies, equipment, and we're a loan chest, and we give out free medical supplies to anyone that needs them.
Now, that was unexpected for me. I knew about the technology, but I did not know about the medical equipment.
A lot of people think, what do the two things have in common? Like two ends of a spectrum. But ironically enough, they really do have a lot more in common than you would think. Most of the people that don't have the access to the technology side, can't afford it, are also in that same boat if they're sick. Mm-hmm. They don't have the access to the healthcare system, to supplies. Our greatest need is incontinence products for adults. You know, we always think about the kids and the diapers, but incontinence for adults is more expensive, and it is a huge thing. We can't keep them on the shelves. We also, we have bandages and any array of medical supplies you can think about that we can legally give out.
Okay.
And then we're loan chests for the equipment. And that's a huge thing because a lot of times insurance won't cover the equipment. Mm-hmm. Or they don't have health care but can't walk and stuff and need that wheelchair, can't afford it, don't get coverage. They can come to us and we're a loan chest. We realize that sometimes some of our people, it's a permanent loan. It happens. And
right.
Yeah.
So
I actually, through a client of mine, ended up following the auctions at Caring Transitions. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you have a lot of medical equipment. And I think I bought, I don't know how many cases of incontinence products, wheelchair, a CPAP machine, all kinds of stuff. That I bought for the purpose of donating because I spent maybe $40 on it, and it was cases and cases of incontinence products. And I just thought, somebody needs this. I don't know who it is, but somebody needs this. And I was able to donate it all. And it's a great thing to watch for if you know someone who maybe lost a family member, and they tend to automatically send that stuff, I think, in stockpiles.
What we end up doing is through wonderful partnerships within Tucson with healthcare agencies, home hospice agencies. We partner with them. Oh, and when they have indigent clients or clients that can't really afford a lot, they'll come to us, get what they need. And in exchange, they bring us stuff, or they inform the families that here's some place they can donate. And that's how we get most of our stuff. And unfortunately, there are a few of the facilities that have gone out of business, and they've called us and said, hey, we've got supplies, come get it.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
And so we get it that way as well.
So how long has We Care Tucson been around, and how did you start?
So We Care Tucson has been around since 1998. It was only, though, back then it was called World Care.
Oh,
So we were World
okay.
Care originally, and we went and collected supplies that were needed in various areas of the world where disasters hit and shipped them there. And we realized you need to be local. And so they began to focus more locally. And about 2015, they kind of streamlined this. And in 2020, the IRS officially recognized them as We Care Tucson. They changed their name so people would understand we're not on the world stage. We are
Right.
local. And we honed that you can't be everything to everybody.
Right.
So
Right.
pick two great needs, and we realized technology and medical. And then when COVID hit, now technology and medical have a lot in common because so much is now telehealth,
Yes.
and you need the computer.
Right.
And if you don't have it and don't have access, you can be out of luck with some of the healthcare.
I actually, in a former position I had, partnered with World Care on a drive after a hurricane, and so very familiar with them. And they were taking technology back then and recycling it. And I think one of the biggest concerns people have when they're handing over technology, especially when it comes to our phones and computers, is it safe?
And it is. So when you drop your stuff off, we can wipe it clean, or we can destroy the hard drive. Now, we get donations from attorneys' offices and big businesses and
Yes.
stuff. For them, we will destroy the hard drive. We can
Okay.
still use some of the components and things like that, so they're valuable for us anyways. We can also just wipe. We have a system that completely wipes it. It's a slower process, but then we're able to reuse the hard drive. And we give a certificate of destruction or a certificate of wipe, because that is important to people.
Absolutely.
We do get a lot of donations, like iPhones that are nice bricks for us, great paperweights, because people forget they set them to factory reset, which is wonderful. It does kind of wipe it, but where Apple products are concerned, they forget to sign out of Find My Phone or Find My iPad,
Uh-huh.
and it locks it.
So if we haven't a phone, we have to go in there and take that. This is Ray Smith. In case you didn't know, my wife forgot to introduce me to the show. That's all right.
Oh, I did forget to introduce him.
But anyway, Mimi, so what I'm thinking that if you have an iPhone, you need to turn it on and then make sure that my phone is not.
Unlog for it. So what you go into is you go into your cloud account and you uncheck where you've connected it to your iCloud
Okay.
account, and then you can wipe it clean, and we'll still.
And my question to you about, we're talking about this, not only with technology, what about cameras? You guys take cameras?
We take any piece of electronics.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
we take it
okay.
all. The only thing we don't take, and sometimes people drop them off anyways, and we get caught with it. They leave it outside our gates. Our CRT TVs and monitors, those are the old ones with the big tubes and stuff. The landfills won't take them either. It's getting very, very hard. They
Yes.
charge you to dispose of them because they are toxic, and they're dangerous. If the tube breaks and the gas gets out, it is dangerous. So that's why you don't find that.
So you're taking flat screen TVs also?
Absolutely.
Don't tell my wife that. She's looking at the ones in the house like, okay, I can get rid of that one. I can get rid
There
of
are
that
2
one.
TVs per person. It's ridiculous.
Well, when you think about the technology and you think about those that don't have access to it, it's kind of like TVs when I was a kid.
Right.
I remember when we got a color television, which was a huge thing back
Right.
in the late 60s.
Right, Mimi.
We had one television, and
We survived.
we survived, and it was a new thing. Now we got televisions in every room,
Yeah.
and computers are going that same way.
Okay.
But there's a big divide. Think about it back when televisions, not everybody could afford a television. Not everybody had one. And certainly not everybody had the big consoles. And as they got bigger, they were really expensive and you didn't have it. It's the same idea.
And there's a lot of information that you need to get from television that you don't get when you're having a paper, when you have a paper, you still need to find out what's going on in the world, understand what's going on. Seeing those commercials, understanding where places like yours are open, how they get to some help, they need help on things like that. Those things are on television, they're in radio. They may not even have a radio, so they
Right.
need the information that you provide them or the tools that you provide them just to stay connected to the world.
We are so connected through technology.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, Tucson is the best place because we're so warm and welcoming. We get a lot of refugees. And think about someone coming from a country where there's no such thing as technology. You know, they're lucky they don't have running water. They're lucky if they have any kind of thing.
Right.
They come and they find a phone. For them, it's such a novel thing, and we do training. We do basic computer classes, and how do you find out about us? So
Right.
we have to go everywhere because not everybody finds out about us on radio, television. It's like going to events, going to communities, partnering with other agencies. We're successful because of the wonderful partnerships we build within Tucson, and there's so many agencies that help people.
That's awesome. And we're getting ready to go to break. And so you are listening to Center Stage Nonprofits of Tucson. We'll be right back with our guest, Mimi Aguila. Almost got it.
That's
With
okay.
We Care Tucson. And we'll talk about how you can get involved when we return from the break. Actually, you are back with Sandra Johnson and Raymond Smith, filling in for Danielle today as she's out with sick kids.
She's so powerful. It takes two people to replace her.
That's true. Yes, she's awesome. Be sure and reach out to her and tell her that. This is just such a great platform for nonprofits to come and people to hear what you do in Tucson. So we're here with Mimi, and she's with We Care Tucson. And so we were just kind of talking a little bit about what it is you do, providing electronics and then medical equipment to people that wouldn't otherwise have access to them. But if someone wanted to get involved and contribute, how do they do that?
So you can get involved with us in several different ways. You can donate all your old stuff. Don't throw it in the trash. Just bring it over to us, all your old electronics or even opened medical supplies. We will take that. And you would bring it down to the store, which is located at 3029 North Stone, which is just south of Fort Lowell and Stone, on the west side of the street. And we are open Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 10 to 3:30. Wednesdays, noon to 6. And then on the first and the third Saturday of the month, we're open from 9 to 1.
So
Do you have a website?
We certainly do. It's wecaretucson.org.
Okay.
And you can email us at info@wecaretucson.org.
So basically, you are open to taking. You said any
All
electron,
technology. All
Ca-
technology.
those old cameras, your
Cameras.
old cell phones, old
Yep.
TVs, as long as they're not the
CRT, the big tubes.
Yeah.
We'll take your, you have power cords laying around.
We have power cords laying around. Let me tell you.
The cable cords and stuff like that. We'll take that all, and we recycle that kind of thing.
That's great.
Remotes, old cell phones, printers, whether they work or not, monitors, TVs, radios, sound bars, game stations.
Do you take the games too?
Sometimes we'll take them because people bring it together. It's not something we used to have a thrift store and they would sell it in that, but we don't. We have some so we can test the systems, but I mean, if it helps somebody out, if they brought it together, we're not going to say no because we
Okay.
can recycle.
We'd like to thank you for coming, Mimi. My question is, what did you do as the executive director at We Care Tucson?
What do I do? What don't I do?
Exactly. I want people to know how many hats you wear.
So I oversee the whole operation. I have 2 part-time employees that work in the store, putting everything out. I have a full-time tech and recycle director. He oversees my volunteers that work in the back to help, restore the
Disassemble
technologies.
things and repair and get it
And-
ready for
right.
to resale. Okay.
We also partner with many agencies,
Mhm.
including like Beacon, Goodwill, and stuff. And we're an internship for their people to learn to repair and do
Oh.
things like that.
So you have classes.
Well, they come in and they learn the skill. So it's not a
Wow.
class. We
Okay.
do have classes, though. We do have basic computer classes.
Nice.
We partnered with United Healthcare's Medicare store, and we hold classes there for seniors. And then on the first and the third Saturdays, we hold classes for anybody at our store.
Mm-hmm.
I also oversee the medical and the partners, all of our partnerships. I work with many agencies in town, and partner with them for the low-cost computer referral program, for the medical supplies and equipment. I also do all the fundraising events that we hold, and just kind of jack of all trades kind of thing. I wear a lot of different hats when staff is out sick,
Right.
except for the tech part. I can do the software and all of that, but repairing the equipment, that's a whole nother. That's why I have Coleman. He is a wonderful, great guy. And he works with my volunteers and stuff. And we have volunteers that have been volunteering for over 15 years with us.
Wow.
And some that just came the other day. We get volunteers coming in and out all the time.
What
we
kind of a
part-
commitment do you want from a volunteer? Can they just kind of drop in, or do they schedule with you?
Yes. We get some people that can come when they can come, and they ask us, can we just show when we got some time? We had a wonderful gentleman who would come in whenever he had free time, and he would just pop in for an hour or two because he was out job searching.
Yeah.
So he came, and we're happy with that. We always can use hands helping
Yes.
any which way.
Uh-huh.
We have partnerships with some schools, and their kids come when they can after school gets out.
Right.
So we will take volunteers whenever they can come. We'd love a big commitment, but we also realize that, that's not always possible. And we realize that time, when somebody donates their time, that's a huge, valuable commodity.
Yes.
And we appreciate whatever time they can give us, because if we didn't have volunteers helping us repair and restore all of this stuff, we wouldn't have it to give out. And we do have a repair shop.
Nice.
We opened We Care Repair on the premises and right next door. That's very, very affordable. And you can drop off your laptops, desktops, and other things, and we can try and help you repair them so you're not spending the money for a new one.
Now, do you take, if somebody, maybe you mentioned a printer that no longer works, if they have ink that it maybe isn't matched to a printer, do you
We'll
have?
take it and we recycle it.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
if we have a brand that we need it, we can put it with it too.
Okay.
Okay.
hmm
You have an outreach event coming up that you might want to talk about.
We're partnering with couple of agencies in town, including TEP, for Tech Fest, Bridging the Digital Divides. And it'll be held at our location. We have a big yard where we will have many resources, including how to connect with low-cost internet connections, resources for all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
We will have a gaming systems out for the kids. We will have basic computer classes. We're going to have art made from recycled material, things that you can do with recycled material, digital art. We're going to have cybersecurity out there to talk to parents about how to keep their kids safe when they're online, especially for parents that haven't had the technology and aren't accustomed to it.
Right.
You just don't want to let your kid loose on the internet. There's a lot out there. So how they can keep them safe. We're going to have food trucks out there, and this is a free event.
Nice.
And it's April 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And the location?
Is at 3029 North Stone, just like I said, south of Fort Lowell. We'll have stuff up on our website shortly, and our website is wecaretucson.org. And then you can look, we do a pickleball tournament. Our first one was last December, so it'll be again in December. It's the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and it's called our Picklelicious Jingle Jam.
Oh,
Wow.
funny. We were just talking with a friend about pickleball, and matter of fact, we got invited to a free event, and I said, we are the oldest people, or the only ones our age that don't play pickleball. It's so popular. Is that how you raise funds?
We had our first pickleball tournament or event, like I said, in December, and yes, it was a huge fundraiser
Great,
for us. It was
great.
very successful. Right out the door, we were blessed with great sponsors, a lot of players that came out, and it was a lot of fun. I too do not play pickleball. I was a tennis player, and then I'm on my bicycle. I ride. I'm a
Okay.
cyclist in town.
So, Mimi, when you talked about the Tech Fest, I wanted to remind people, you said something about having recycled art there, and it was and digital art.
So we have a great artist that is on our committee and helping us, and he makes the most wonderful art out of computer components. So that's recycled art. He donated for our pickleball tournament for the silent auction thing made out of motherboards. I swear to God, it looked like the Borg had come. It was a Borg cube. It was great. That shows you what a geek I am.
Totally into that
I
one.
bet that was really popular too.
It was. And then, but art in the digital space is a really big thing. There are a lot of artists that will take pictures and expand them in through the digital platform. And so we'll have people that'll show their digital art, but also have a chance for kids or adults to learn how you can get into that.
Are you looking for any donations or support for the Tech Fest?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All of the above. Any of the nonprofits that are resources, we'd love to have them have a table. We're not charging for that. We want it to be accessible. Our goal with this is twofold. Is one, to make people aware that there is a bridge in technology for those that have and those that don't have ready access to it. And those that don't have access, we want them to come and experience it. We're also going to have all the kids that come in and attend will get free raffle ticket.
Nice.
And we'll be drawing free laptop computers for the kids.
Can you let us know, give us the date again and where it's going to be held?
It's going on April 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our location, which is 3029 North Stone. We're going to have food trucks there, too.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like a great place to be on the 13th. With that, we just want to say thank you for being here.
Thank
We
you for having
appreciate
me.
your time and love what you do.
Really do. It's amazing.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to thank Danielle's sponsors, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing,
And
Indie
electrical.
Realty, and electrical. Well, it's not on the sign. Indie Realty, Win Home Inspection, Catalina Foothills. And if you use one of our sponsors, let them know that you heard about them on the Center Stage Nonprofits of Tucson show.